profit on the... Ow! All right, precariously perched at the starting line. Yeah. Hey, you big stoners. Big Papa Hundo coming at you. What up, what up? You probably want to know what up with Big Papa Hundo, the Humboldt-Lorax clown today, and superstar Slick Grace, the queer imaginary real banana slug. Yeah, well, we're coming to you today from way up here at the doghouse of the BPH compound because we wanted to talk to you about a couple things. You know, we were recently down in Two-Stoned, Arizona. Yeah. What were you doing in Two-Stoned, Arizona, Big Papa Hundo? Funny you should ask. Superstar Slick Grace, the queer imaginary real banana slug. Well, Big Papa Hundo wasn't planning to go back to Two-Stoned, Arizona because, well, there was a lot of wibbly-woo stuff that happened down in Two-Stoned, Arizona, like being denied safe access to his medical marijuana. Yeah. They didn't care if he lived or died, man. They were like, oh, you're a state licensed medical marijuana patient, but we're not going to give you access to medical marijuana. How stupid is that? Who in their right minds would deny Big Papa Hundo marijuana? Nobody. Anyhow, but Big Papa Hundo realized a couple things when he was down in Arizona. Two-Stoned, Arizona, to be specific. Oh, by the way, did I mention superstar Slick Grace, the queer imaginary real banana slug's here with me? But, yeah, we had to go to Tucson because the Tucson Pride Association canceled the Tucson Pride less than 30 days before Tucson Pride happened. Yeah, so Big Papa Hundo spent an entire month reaching out to everybody that he believed or that he thought were queer allies in the Tucson community to talk about pop-up pride so that Tucson did not lose a 50-year pride tradition. So at his own expense and everything, without any profit whatsoever, in fact, cost him a hot lot to go down to Two-Stoned, Arizona and do pop-up pride. And he had reached out to all kinds of people in the community, one of which he had reached out to the Loft Cinema because they sell gay shirts. Yeah, that have rainbows on them, and they're theoretically a gay-friendly and accommodating sort of a business, but you know what they did? They hot-blocked Big Papa Hundo. Yeah, they did that and would not let us help us in any sort of way to get the message out about pop-up pride. But you know what? Turkey butt! Haha, you paying attention. No, seriously, people, I'll tell you what's up, okay? Not only did they block Big Papa Hundo and silence the voice of a queer advocate who's out there working, all right, but they absolutely onto the memory of Harris Glenn Milstead, also known as Divine, by queer profiteering off of Divine's image while blocking the very individual who's out there trying to spread the message about Divine and being divine. And he is being damn divine today, wouldn't you say? Hot, yes. Okay, all right, but how do you silence and marginalize queer voices while you're rainbow washing and selling gay-themed shirts? Well, Big Papa Hundo said hot no. He said that makes it an inauthentic queer relic, all right? And so we said hot no to that. So he's been filthing it up, Divine style, and we're going to auction off that piece of fake queer profiteering from the Loft Cinema in order to profit an organization that actually is queer-friendly, which is the Poison Oak Project. All right, so on March 15th at the Castro Theater in San Francisco, California, with Kim Petras, Big Papa Hundo is going to auction off for the Poison Oak Project the fake gay object, which is his personal shirt. Now, let me tell you about that shirt for a hot second. Big Papa Hundo wore the Loft Cinema shirt all throughout his Still Alive in 2025 tour. Yeah, he wore it in front of Madison Square Garden. He wore it inside Madison Square Garden. He wore it on the roof of Madison Square Garden. Wore it everywhere. Took all these pictures, all right, and videos and all this love because he thought that the Loft Cinema down in Tucson was a queer-friendly establishment. He didn't understand that all they are is a we got you, queer boy, at the gift shop because we sold you a rainbow. Don't sell me a rainbow, okay? As Dog Park dissidents say, all right? I didn't realize that you were just queer capitalizers and not actually a queer affirming business. How do you block an activist in the queer community, all right, and refuse to even talk to him? All right, now, I could actually respect you if you would have at least had the nerve or the guts to say, oh, Big Papa Hondo, we don't agree with your rather radical viewpoint, but we do like capitalizing off Divine, but we don't like you because you're too dirty, filthy, messy, and, so we don't like you. But no, they didn't even say anything. Okay? Silence, 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 silence. Domestic violence breeds on silence, and so too does homophobia, so too does transophobia, okay? And by shutting me up and blocking me a member, you blocked a member, okay? I would recommend anybody else who's a member of the Loft Cinema realize that at any given moment, they can just block you, ignore you, and not even talk to you, all right? Pretend like you don't exist and hope that you go away. Okay, hope that you just go away. But don't go away, people. Okay? We got to take the power back. All right? We have to stand up. All right? We have to stand up for each other. Because you know what? Turkey butt. Ha, got you again. Ha, that's twice. Yeah. Ha. So anyway, I would highly recommend you boycott the Loft Cinema. All right? And demand your money back for your membership, just like Big Papa Hundo's doing. Because how the heck do you block a member? Okay? How do you do that and not even talk to me? All right? I'm so tired of this. What's up with you people down there in Arizona that you just can't talk? Okay? Just like the medical marijuana facility that blocked my safe access, illegally blocked my safe access. As a medical marijuana patient in the state of Arizona, I had a right to my medication. Well, that dispensary, for their own ignorance, arrogance, and convenience, blocked me and thought nobody was ever going to find out about it. Well, everybody knows now. Okay? Because I tried to have a private conversation with y'all, but y'all like, oh, shut up, you old faggot. That's literally what they called me, was an old faggot. You know? And that's kind of not okay. All right? Not only did they refuse my medication, but they called me an old faggot. And they said, yeah, but nobody's ever going to listen to you and nobody's ever going to find out about it. Yeah, well, I think you might have been slightly off on your calculations there. All right? Because there are a hot lot of people that are down with the clown, all right? And they know that the truth is the truth. And now, Big Papa Hundo is going to tell you a little bit more truth today, because it's time to truth, all right? A few of the things that he realized when he was down in Two Stoned, Arizona, was that most of you folks who are cannabis consumers, okay, or medical marijuana patients, and I love all of y'all, and y'all just, keep on being groovy, because I appreciate that, and I think that that's wonderful, and I think that that's standing up for your rights. It's medication, recreation, and inspiration. That's what marijuana is. That's the BPH Yeah, that's what it is. Oh, what's up, Turtle? Oh, I just saw you. Hey. Anyhow, I just love that guy. Turtle Timbers of Arizona, by the way. What a boop, 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 boop. Great individual with some of the coolest handmade pipes I've ever seen. He had, what was that? Híjole de chingada? Okay, it was pretty cool. And it had Cheech and Chong on it, and it looks like a cigar, and it's craft. Anyway, what's up, Turtle? You big stoner. And, so Big Papa Hundo was getting distracted with his ADHD thing, and he was going to smoke this joint, but he can't figure out which end is the rat end. We're going to pretend like this is the proper end and laugh when you write the wrong one. Okay, but that didn't even do nothing. Okay. Now we're getting somewhere. Now we're getting serious, okay? It's almost time for noses off, but we're not going to do noses off today because it's not that serious, all right? But what is noses off serious is Jared Dwayne Shaw, the American professional basketball player who's in prison in Indonesia right now, okay? And he was spared the death sentence by the firing squad, and we are grateful to the Indonesian government for that, but you have to understand, all right, just because he got a 26-month sentence, that's not like getting a 26-month sentence in these United States, okay? It sucks quite a bit because he's got active infections that could be fatal, all right? And he ain't going to make 26 months in this Indonesian prison when he can't get access to his medical care. So we're going to end up with a death penalty by default if we don't stand up and say, send Jared Shaw home, please. All right. So please learn about Jared Dwayne Shaw. If you can and you have the capacity to, please donate to the legal fund through Dante West. All right. What's up, Dante West? I love you, brother. All right. Dante West is one of Big Papa Hundo's heroes for all the work that he's doing to save Jared Shaw. What's up, Deshaun Durham? Deshaun is somebody that Big Papa Hundo's incredibly proud of. And he is proof that the resilience, the resilience of formerly incarcerated, nonviolent marijuana offenders, man, he's showing us all something, all right? So you check out Deshaun Durham, because he's really good people. And bless you, Deshaun. I'm so proud of you. Big Papa Hundo is proud of you. Thank you. Shout out to Attorney John Morgan. Pot Daddy. What's up, Pot Daddy? Who's your daddy? Pot Daddy. Heck yes. So, Morgan, I'd highly recommend that if you happen to have legal needs, that you should definitely go with a professional like John Morgan, who actually has a heart and who actually cares. He's not like the greed weed losers over there who like to block access to medical marijuana patients, then call him an old faggot and laugh at him. Okay, it's not like that kind of person, all right? He's something totally different. So, peace. Oh, by the way, John Morgan, just wanted to let you know that we need to talk about that whole situation about me getting called an old faggot and being refused safe access to my medical marijuana because it was pretty illegal. And I want to continue our little conversation about that because since they continue to ignore us, then we probably have to go to the next step. Anyhow, that's not what you came here for. What you came here for today was you came here because you wanted to hear Big Papa Hundo's observations since he got back from Two-Stoned, Arizona. All right? And, oh, real quick, shout out love to Jared Dwayne Shaw. Let's not fall off the ladder. Okay? These here are Peace and Love. They're getting auctioned off for Jared Dwayne Shaw on October 31st, 2026. Okay? They are out here on the New Kicks in 26 tour. In fact, they are my go-to kicks because you know what? Turkey butt, that's 3 times I got you. Ha, ha, ha. Okay, no, seriously. Okay, Jared Dwayne Shaw isn't doing so hot in the prison system, all right? Not because he isn't doing well, but because prisons in Indonesia are not really the coziest place to be, okay, when you're an American professional basketball player who's in prison for 132 medicated marijuana gummies. All right? He's got infections. He's not well, people. All right? All joking aside, all clowning aside, please help us save Jared Dwayne Shaw. All right? Big Papa Hundo's got a couple other things that he's got cooked up in order to help out Jared. Jared Shaw, I love you, brother. All right? We're going to get you home, man. All right? We're getting this. All right? Thank you. Peace to the Indonesian government for sparing the life of Jared Dwayne Shaw. I ask personally, not representing anybody else, just my own personal interest in humanity. I, Big Papa Hundo, the Humboldt-Lorax Clown, do hereby please petition the mercy of the Indonesian government and the Indonesian people to send our brother Jared Dwayne Shaw home so that we can get him some medical care. All right, let's take him home, people. All right, love you. All right, thank you for sparing his life, but he's not doing well in there. Please send him home. All right, now, people, let's talk about Arizona. By the time I get to Arizona. Now, when Big Papa Hundo was down in Arizona, getting blocked by the naughty queer profiteers at the Loft Cinema, and in spite of their trying to block us and cancel us and erase queer history, Big Papa Hundo went ahead and made queer history anyway with all of his friends and supporters out at the University of Arizona Mall on February 21st, 2026, keeping alive the Tucson Pride tradition, even though certain individuals and organizations didn't show any care, love, or support. All right? We did it anyway. We were resilient. We were proud. Okay? We were visible as all day. Beep, beep. All right? And we showed that we could create safe spaces. And I got to talk to so many people, and I got to meet so many incredible individuals and hear your stories. And thank you for sharing with me. Thank you for having all the fun and all the contests. We was doing all kinds of funny stuff. Congratulations to those of you who picked up the golden tickets to it. That is that is happening on March 15th, 2027. And that's something real special. But March 15th, 2026 is another fabulous underwear auction. Yeah, we're going to auction off Big Papa Hundo's rainbow unicorn jockstrap. That he wore at his performances last night, and that he swam to Big Papa Hundo Island during the rave last night, and that he's going to wear, on March 15th, 2026, quite publicly, when he reunites with Kim Petras at the Castro Theater. Yeah, that's March 15th, 2026, Castro Theater, San Francisco, California. Kim Petras reunites with Big Papa Hundo, the Humboldt Lorax Clown, and superstar Slick Grace, the queer imaginary real banana slug, will be there. Yeah, and we're going to auction off Big Papa Hundo's rainbow unicorn jockstrap that he will be wearing that night, quite publicly. So just heads up, if you're going to Castro, know what's going on. Cause he's going to be there in his rainbow unicorn jockstrap, which is an authentic, real queer object. Yeah. And he's going to sweeten that deal and make it a 2-for-1, because he's going to also auction off, a fake queer object, which is queer profiteering, which is his Loft Cinema shirt that he wore throughout the Still Alive in 25 tour, and made all the videos that you guys can see on his Instagram, or he's going to try and repost later when he gets done doing all his tour stops today. But you can see how Big Papa Hundo, having been fooled by the rainbow washing of the Loft Cinema, he believed that they were a queer supportive organization, and so he was so proud to show off, look, Loft Cinema in Tucson, so cool. Yeah, they're queer supporting, and look, it's gay, and I'm gay, and this is gay, and, then they're like, block! Hot no, Big Pop Hundo! You're a little too authentically queer radical for us. Hot no. I said, but wait, can't we get the message out about pop-up pride and get the community together? And they said, nothing. Literally said nothing, and still haven't. And that's just the way that abusers are, okay? Abusers take their power, okay, and they smush you down. Like the abuser who called me an old faggot and then, went around, got me fired, and said, nobody's ever going to find out about it. It's going to be it's a little secret. It's not, okay? The truth comes out eventually, pal. The truth comes out, people, all right? People are going to find out what you did, all right? You think that rapists and abusers get away with what they get away with because as soon as somebody says, there's an issue, no, they blame the victim, all right? They turn right around and be like, let's blame the old faggot. Yeah, thanks a lot, people. All right, and thank you for those of you who actually understand that the kind of abuse that happens to queer people doesn't happen right in front of your face. They're super nice to your face, but as soon as they're alone with you, okay, yeah, that's when the claws come out. And that's when they start calling you things and telling you, nobody's ever going to find out. Why would they believe you? Blah, 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 blah. You know what? Turkey butt, all right? That's 4 times now. 4 times, 4 turkey butts in one conversation. But we were getting a little too heavy, and we were getting a little too much into that whole thing about Big Papa Hundo getting gay bashed, and nobody really cares about it. As the gay bashers always say, nobody really cares, and nobody will ever find out. So we will just ignore that subject for right now, and we'll talk about marijuana, all right? Did you people know that you can't ship it across state lines? So no matter what the logos are on your marijuana, okay, it came from the state in which you purchased it, if it was legal under the current legal system, okay? And that's something that most people don't know. If you are out there in Two-Stoned, Arizona, you are not getting my fabulous Humboldt County and Greater Emerald Triangle marijuana. And you guys might be like, so what? Well, there is a huge difference, all right? And what I discovered when I was smoking the marijuanas down in Arizona, in Two-Stoned, Arizona, And I know a thing or two about the marijuanas down in Tucson, Arizona, because, I was actually working at a state licensed cannabis facility in the state of Arizona for quite a long time there. And he knows what he's talking about, and he likes giving the education and teaching the people about it. But one of the first things he always said was, when people said, well, is it dry and is it good and is it this? And I always be like, well, it ain't Humboldt, all right? It's not. And I, having been down in Tucson for a hot long minute, when I was on my last residency down there, prior to getting denied safe access to my medical marijuana, getting called a faggot, and subsequently taken exile up to Humboldt because I said hot no. This stuff down here in Tucson ain't going so pretty. If that's the way that people are getting treated, and that's the way you treat queer people and medical marijuana patients in Tucson, Arizona, Big Papa Hundo is going to need to go protect himself. He's going to need to go and fortify his house and his base. Then he's going to come back and help y'all out. So Big Papa Hundo came out of his exile, which he wasn't going to do until the state of Arizona fixed the issues that allowed him to be denied safe access to medical marijuana. He wasn't going back down there at all. All right. But because the Tucson Pride Association closed their doors on January 21st, announcing that their February 21st Pride, the third oldest Pride Association in the United States, closed their doors and said, the Pride that we're supposed to have in 30 days is canceled. And all the media and the newspapers and the TV, they all were like, Pride is canceled. Pride is canceled. Do you know how many of those news outlets showed up for our pop-up Pride? Nobody cared about the story of resilience, okay? They completely blacked us out and ignored us, all right? That's not an accident, all right? They're trying to erase us. They're trying to erase queer voices. They're trying to rewrite history. It's much better for them to have a story about how we failed rather than how we are resilient, okay? And I'm working my tail feathers off in order to change that dialogue because it's hot, not okay. All right. What we need to be is we need to be divine, people. All right. Speaking of divine, Harris Glen Milstead Estate, thank you kindly from Big Papa Hundo, the Humboldt Lorax Clown. As I lay here, trying not to fall out that hole in the ground, I just want to give a special shout out to the Harris Glen Milstead Estate. Oh, queer people everywhere. As I've always said, and I will continue to say, there would be no modern queer homosexuality, gayness of any sort. Yeah, queer homosexuality, gayness, whatever. All right, don't judge me. Without Harris Glen Milstead Divine. All right, Divine. Shit, don't fall, Big Papa Hundo. Divine is hi. Why am I doing that? I'm gonna fall. Okay, don't fall. Try not to fall, Big Papa Hundo. All right, so I'm doing this to make a point, people. I'm doing this so you're gonna pay attention. All right, Harris Glen Milstead Divine was visible. Okay, Harris Glen Milstead Divine was resilient, and much like Harris Glen Milstead, okay. I am here, I am queer, and I'm tired of having our voices be ignored by the very people who profit off our backs. I'm tired of not getting an answer or an apology from the greedweed people who blocked me, called me an old faggot, all right? For this is all I've got from them. That's it, okay? Same thing, Loft Cinema, this is you guys. You won't even talk, all right? But you know what? There are thousands and thousands of people who are talking about you right now and your silence, all right? Silence is golden in just one form. I'm going to say it again. Silence is golden in just one form. Often it's dark and it's really warm. All right. Shout out Trey Anastasio. Going to be catching Big Papa Hundo with Superstar Slick Grace, the queer imaginary real banana slug, with Trey Anastasio and the Colorado Symphony at Red Rocks this summer. All right. Appearing with Superstar Jumpers, Wavy and Jaw, supporting the SEVA Foundation. That's seva.org. Yeah. Speaking of ORG, let's talk about Divine a little bit more. And friends. No, don't fall. Big Papa. Sorry. That was only for dramatic effect. I wasn't actually going to fall. Now I'm actually going to fall. Oh, we're talking about marijuana. Yeah. So back to Arizona. So you folks down in Arizona, as when I used to sell various products containing cannabis and THC at a state licensed medical marijuana dispensary, I always like to take the time to explain to my patients and my recreational customers that you cannot get California marijuana in Arizona. All you can get is marijuana that's grown in Arizona. And is there a difference? Yeah. Okay. And the way I would describe it, the way that I would tell you about Emerald Triangle marijuana and my love for it, and the people who make it, and the place where it's produced, and everything, is simply this. When I partake of the marijuana in Arizona, it definitely does get me high. But it does not stone me to my soul. Like Emerald Triangle Legacy hand-farmed, hand-loved marijuana from my friends up here in the Emerald Triangle. Love you all. The Humboldt Lorax Clown is back in town, people, and we're going to be heading north to the Epitome Gallery. Shout out to the Epitome. What's up, Epitome Gallery? I need some spray paint. We all know why. And so I'm going to be heading up there to get some more paint. We got some projects to do. Got some big time shows coming up. Next one, speaking of stoned me to my soul, is the Jerry Garcia Band. That is Melvin Seals and the JGB. And that's going to be at the Warfield in San Francisco, California on March 7th, 2026. You're going to see Big Papa Hundo, the Humboldt Lorax Clown, with Superstar Slick Race, the Queer Imaginary Real Banana Slug, and Superstar Jumpers Wavy and Ja that are going to get auctioned off to support the SEVA Foundation. That's SEVA.org. All right, SEVA.org. I'm Big Papa Hundo. This is Superstar Slick Grace, the Queer Imaginary Real Banana Slug. Love you all. THC you all just a little later. Peace. Love you guys so much. All right, bye-bye.